Hey, how's it going, everybody? Before I show you guys the circuit board here, for anybody that's new to collecting retro, or just anybody that's never seen one of these before, this is the Sears version of a Model 1 Intellivision system. Super Video Arcade telegame system. Anyways, I've got two of them. It's the last one that I had a kit for, so last system that I put caps in. And I did the other one that I have that's loose before this, and no problems, man. All the caps that came in the kit were right for it. The board was a normal type circuit board. So another thing I want to show before I show you the circuit board is an example here of a worst case scenario, which if I had that problem with this, I wouldn't have done it, man. It's like I would have just put it in a box and sold it to somebody. Because it was a headache in itself to have a map that worked. So if you order parts from Council 5, at least for the systems that I got capacitor kits for, you can go to the wiki pages and download one of these maps that shows you where everything goes on the board. Each one of those circles is a capacitor. The Turbo Duo has a shitload of capacitors. And then some of this stuff I wrote in there, which is basically just the values for each one. Otherwise, they just have the circles and then the number for each capacitor. And to tell you what's positive and negative for anybody that's never done this kind of work, zoom in on one here. Let's rinse that up. Anyways, for that one there, as you can see on the inside of the circle next to where it gives the letter and number, there is a little line sticking out to the inside. That is for your negative lead. Each one of those circles has that. Now, think it how it would be if you printed this out, ordered your capacitors, opened up your system, and realized your circuit board is totally blank, all but for the year and revision number. Because that's the situation with this. The only thing it says anywhere on this circuit board for the main one is Mattel Incorporated 1980 Revision C. I have never ran across this. I'm a big fan of Intellivision. It was my first system, so I've got several of them. Several Model 1 and original Intellivisions. I've got the Radio Shack Tandyvision 1, which is basically a Model 1 Intellivision. And then these two Sears systems. This is the only one I've ran across that has a totally different revision on the board, other than the norm where it's green and then shows where everything goes. This just totally blank, man. I do not know why they would do that. I kind of doubt it, because that would be just too lucky. Just on the fact it would really up the value of this system if it was. But first thing popped in my mind is, damn, did I get my hands on a prototype? Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because if it was a prototype, then yeah, it may not have everything written on it because it's one of the first boards, and maybe one got into the mix at this factory, or, well, goes back to like Atari and stuff, as this was one of Atari 2600's competitors. A lot of the 2600s that I've opened up not only have different revisions on the boards, but you can tell they've gotten parts off of one and put it on another, or vice versa, or whatever, or sometimes even mixed parts, especially on the switches and everything. So a lot of times, man, it's whatever they got on their little work shelf is what they're going to grab and throw in the system so they can get it sold. So it really makes me wonder if that's what happened. One of the prototypes got thrown into the system and it shouldn't have been sold. Just conspiracy theory type shit going on there. Otherwise, it's probably just a weird revision. So like I say, all my other ones, green on top, green on bottom. Is the bottom of this is green like a normal looking circuit board for nowadays. Totally nothing, man. No information. Now on the smaller one, it's for your power, which all the Intellivision systems have an extra little circuit board for your power supply. That one, yeah, the tops of them are blank, and then the bottom of them, at least for what I've worked on, the only thing it says for anything on helping you on what's what is there's a couple of plus signs for the two large capacitors to tell you that, okay, these are the two leads that are positive. And then there's a little plus sign above the third capacitor, which is a little one, in a very strange place, not really helping you at all on saying which lead is what. So that one you kind of got to look at the capacitor and find out. Which on capacitors, I did this in the last vid too, but anyways, here's one of the large ones. Those blue arrows there, whatever, with the smaller arrows and negative signs are pointing at the negative lead. If you get one where it's got two leads coming out the bottom, it's going to be the same thing. You'll have a stripe on the side that the negative lead is on. Then another thing on this that was different, it's pretty much on the orientation of everything, it's all normal. Other than this one here, which I had to put the old one back, as in, unless it's bad, save your old parts if they still look good, because you never know when you'll need them, which this time I did. The one they send in the kit is a BP capacitor, bipolar, which means positive at each end. This is NP, negative polarity, polarization, so it's negative at each end. Anyways, I took all these out, popped in the new ones, thought nothing of it, man. Put it all back together, as in soldered this on, thinking that I was good to go. Popped in a game, turned it on. No, I'm not good to go, as it was stone dead, man. It was like I had no power going to it. So the thing is since I saved all the old caps, I just tossed them into a jar. I went through the jar, found all the old ones, tried to match them up, and then realized the one that I took out was different. And on that, like I said, man, as far as I found out, is it's kind of new to me on these types. I've never ran into them before, but like I say, NP is supposed to be negative, and then BP is positive on the leads. Went into one site, and somebody was asking that question, what's the difference? And all the, there's no difference. It depends on what country it comes from, or some dumbass thing. To all, it's the same thing, so it doesn't matter if you replace one with the other. Well, some stuff, yeah, maybe is, I kept running into audio sites for like car audio and stuff where they were talking about these types where they're saying, no, it doesn't matter, which they could be wrong too. So just kind of gave up on finding the right answer and just figured it out myself, which I still may be wrong. Otherwise, it didn't like having the BP one in there. Once I put that back, now it works beautifully. So if any of you out there, like Intellivision Dude or any of the other collectors of Intellivision systems, ran into this type, let me know, man. Because I did plenty of picture searches on Yahoo, Google, Bing, whatever, and I could not find a picture of this particular board. I was just finding all the other ones to where somebody's just showing their system opened up or showing off a rare revision, like a definite prototype, to where I did see one like that where it's the cream color and it almost looks like there's another circuit board that was layered onto it, like added on, plus the other circuit board, I guess, for power. Just a really weird revision, maybe for another country. They didn't just do the Intellivision for the United States, they did it for the UK, to where they had PAL versions, and then they did it for some other countries. So, a lot of revisions where they were totally different. That's probably due with voltage or whatever, or how it sends the signal to the TV. So I will catch you guys later. Feel free to comment on this. I appreciate any information you guys can give me on it if you ran across this type of thing. If I ran across another one, is I got some other systems boxed up that I'm tempted to dig out of the boxes and take them apart just to see if I do have another one like this, but I kind of doubt it. So I've got multiple Intellivision systems and I've never ran across this before. On any game systems other than Intellivision, I've never ran across this before. All of them are marked for what each thing is and giving the positive and negative on polarity and stuff. So, later everybody.